This is me and my motorcycle. And this is Thomas and his motorcycle. We have planned to go on a road trip this fall. His Yamaha Tenere is in excellent condition. My old Cagiva is not too shabby either. I spent the last half year fixing it, making some huge upgrades. But Thomas is an experienced adventure rider. I have barely been out of my garage. Can I prepare myself for an adventure trip in time?
Finally, my motorcycle and we are ready for our first adventure road trip. I hope. I'm not really sure. I have a couple of challenges and I want to address them in this video. And I think this can be quite useful for you. Maybe. Listen to this. Point 1, challenge 1. If you see this list here. All these tasks, it's 42 of them. This is issues I have been repaired, and a lot of these repairs I haven't really tested it on the road to see if they work in real life. I'm more or less taken the whole bike apart and put it back together, doing upgrades and repairs, a lot of DIY stuff as well. So yeah, I really need to test it to make sure that the bike is reliable before going on a long trip. The second thing, and maybe you as well have thought about this, making a video from the trip. Having some memories, you know. I've made a lot of videos, over 100 actually here now on YouTube, but not on the road. I will be bringing along 3 cameras, my smartphone, my action camera and my big mirrorless camera, video camera. Not this one, this is just for illustration. I'm recording with the one I'm gonna bring along. I would say if you don't have a big camera like this, you can totally get away using your smartphone. I would say our action camera really helps getting different kind of footage. If you want to make a fun road movie, I think action camera really helps a lot. And I would say it's almost more important to have good audio when you're making a video. So I have this Boya microphone I can clip on to any of these devices. And maybe even more, I like these small lavalier microphones, well, they're tiny ones you can clip on your shirt. And to avoid having cables all around, I have this wireless kit from Rode. And then it's all this other stuff here, which is also super important, accessories to hold your camera. Because really, you don't want to hold your phone on every shot. You want to put it stationary. And my camera, I was so lucky that when I bought it, I could buy this stand to it that is specially designed for my Sony smartphone. It's an Xperia phone. So I can mount it, I can use it to hold steady like this, and it even have an extra monitor, or I can use it just like a stand to put it wherever I want it to be, to point to myself or the motive I want. And you can buy similar stuff like this for any smartphone, and it helps a lot to get good footage. And then a very short commercial break. If you need accessories to your smartphone or your action camera, you should check out Telesin's website, link in the description. They sent me 3 of these accessories here. They reached out to me, asked if I needed something, and I had these 3 things I really missed. And one of them, for instance, is this foot. I've already used it a couple of times. Very handy, looks and feels very professional. Also, they sent me this on my request, a clamp to mount thing to the bike. And for the action camera, they sent this lens and the filters.
And here you can see our short little outdoor test. This is absolutely nothing you need to have. Action camera performs well without it, but in bright sunlight it does improve the image quality. Here you can see the difference in very bright sunlight. The image just gets a tiny bit more cinematic, and the camera produces colors and contrast a bit better.
So for my short trip now, where I will be trying to make this road movie, I will not be using my expensive camera and my big heavy tripod, but focus on my smartphone and my action camera to see what I can make out of it. One thing I did not get from Telesin is this mount for the helmet. This I bought from Chinmount, and it's especially designed for my helmet. And you can buy this for all kind of helmets. If you don't want a permanent mount on your helmet, You can rather buy one from Telesin that you can take on and off with straps, but this one is a bit more elegant to put on your helmet. When I look at this shin mount, it seems to be 3D printed. And that's probably fine. I just expected it to be injection molded to, make sure it's strong enough. They did, however, include a bracket that is injection molded. By attaching this strap to the camera, I have extra safety. And then I've actually used a GoPro mount to my DJI camera, mixing and matching equipment to make it fit like this. And it's just to clip on my camera, very handy with this magnetic mount. This is a great way to capture footage. What's now gonna be recorded on my video is exactly what I see on my trip, and I will get great memories. But it will be a bit boring in the long run, just to record as you are driving. Not sure if you agree, but I've seen a lot of moto vlogs, and in the long run it's a bit boring. Need to mix it up with different kind of footage to make it a bit more exciting. And that is when these other equipment come into effect, like this selfie stick. This was delivered together with my camera, and you can extend it to quite a long one, so you can get great footage. And this foot then from Telesin fits onto this and makes a great stand for the camera. And it takes no space, so when it's not in use, you can just clamp these arms up like this, and it's very handy. Takes no space in your backpack. And with this retractable selfie stick, you can of course use it as a selfie stick like this, and show your surroundings and where you are. But you can also then, because of this added foot from Telesin, you can just extract it and use it as a tripod. Not very sturdy, not in heavy wind of course, but you can set up this, turn on the camera, and you can start your video session explaining, telling what you're doing. So using this arm, this extendable arm with this foot, very useful. But then other fun stuff is to use this one instead of the foot. So let me just swap it. One typical spot is to mount it here on the handlebar, pointing at yourself, or you can point it sideways to capture footage while you're driving. One fun position, at least on my bike here, I found to put it on the luggage tray, and I can extract it quite high and record myself while driving and the surroundings. One very fun angle is to put it here on the frame and pointing it very close to the road. It's just your imagination. So then you can record just a minute or so with different angles, so you can cut it into your movie. Of course, you need to do a bit of editing, cutting all the pieces together to make a fun movie. But that's all the theory. Now I have all kind of equipment to my action camera. I've also prepared a small bag, tank bag, to put on here, so I can put everything and bring it along as I need to swap out different equipment. So maybe it's time to try to make a fun little short road movie while I'm at the same time testing my bike. Okay, let's start.
So, I'm trying my best to look confident here, but I was not at all. I was more or less concerned about the bike. Had I forgotten something? What about the camera equipment? Did I set it up correctly? And spoiler alert, I had not. But I managed to convince myself, saying that, yeah, this is just a fun trip, no stakes at play here, just look cool and have a nice trip. And that's exactly what happens when you're trying to look cool, isn't it? Alright, time to get some fuel. And this is one of the few stations that has 98 octane, something this bike likes a lot. Full tank. Not the only one out on trip. So where to go? That is the question. Okay, I don't really have a good plan for this trip, but maybe if you look ahead now, let me get past these trees. There is a spot where you can see the city. So I'll drive up a road up there. That's the plan. Okay, I know a shortcut. I must say, not too bad. Some problems though, two problems. One of them is just tightening down the mirror, and the other one is that one of my instruments stopped working. When I turn on the ignition now, this one to the right, it shows 12 volts, the other one is dead. Maybe just a loose cable, maybe it doesn't work anymore. In that case, it didn't last even 1 hour. Pity it's such a grey day, but since I'm here, I might just tell you a bit about this place. If you're gonna visit Molde town, this is a place you should seek out. It's closed during winter time. It's called Varden, and that is, I had to look it up for English words for cairn. The cairn will be the name translated, and you can see it right there. I'll go up to it. So it's a pile of rocks, more or less. Should have known more about this place, of course. I'll put on the screen how high this is. Normally, if it hadn't been that much clouds, you would have actually have seen 222 mountain tops towards south of Molde, my hometown. I can see it's a bit of sun over there, but yeah, it could have been more. All right, better get back home. Take a look at that instrument voltmeter not working. So yeah, hopefully nothing more happens. Brakes are fine, lights are fine.
Shock seems to be fine. Engine runs smoothly. Just a small hiccup with this instrument stopped working. So I think maybe I could be ready for a longer trip then. Okay then, time to be heading home and having a proper inspection in the garage. But I think it doesn't look too bad. It's been more than a week now since I took the trip, and I have to say I mostly have good news. Some bad news, but mostly good news, at least when it comes to the motorcycle. The problem I had with the voltmeter, I fixed it. It was just a loose cable, loose connector, and I just used a plier to tighten it, and then I fixed the cables there with a zip tie. So when I'm moving the handlebar back and forth, I went over all the cables now. They are much better. So now the voltmeter works again as normal. But another issue I found was with the tablet. I have taken off this M12 connection because I got a problem there when I was very low on battery. When I started the motorcycle, it gets a sudden power drop or maybe even a spike, and it made the tablet restart. I have asked U-Truck about it, so I'm waiting for feedback on the tech support. But I decided to switch over to this connector, which is a magnetic USB connector, and I added an extra USB underneath, and now it's no problem whatsoever. The charging is now going through a USB, that's 5 volts, and even if I have low power, I get one extra channel that powers the tablet, so to say. And it's much smarter as well, because if I want to take off the tablet and use it in the tent or when I'm camping, then it's much easier to just pull out the magnetic connection. I also bought this chair. I thought I might see if I could put it together here without reading the instruction manual. So I am pretty much prepared now to go on a camping trip. This should be easy. Nice! So this is my latest purchase. So I think I have most camping gear that I need now. So the only thing missing, and here is the bad news, that's decent weather. It's actually been really cold, only raining the last weeks. I've been talking to Thomas almost every day here about our planned trip, and we don't want to go when it's freezing cold and pouring down rain, and it doesn't look good. It's even started to snow up in the mountains. So yeah, there are still hope, you know, but now it's October, and that is maybe have a week or two. If we can get some nice days, maybe it doesn't look good. Worst case scenario, we need to postpone to the spring.